Northern Life, you mentioned Ward 12, the 3 cans do not have websites. It has been in these last 4 years that cans were established in Ward 12. Cans are always looking for volunteers and welcome new ideas, people from all age groups. We are a community of community, working for our community. My question to you is, how many CAN meetings have you attended and volunteered to do the websites? We have been searching for a long time for somebody to do the websites, and I'm glad to say that we have been working on one for 2 months now.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that question. When I had that interview for Northern Life, I said that I think minimum standards should be applied to cans, including the city providing websites for cans. I think it's extremely important that if you have a community action network, that you can discuss those issues when the CAN meetings are happening and when the CAN meetings are done. That should not be, community discussion should not close based on if you could make a meeting or not. In addition, I have attended CAN meetings. I was told I could not speak because I was running for office. If I'm not allowed to speak at a CAN meeting, I can't participate. I agree. Once an election is called, the person that is sitting in office should not be chairing CAN meetings. Those CAN meetings should be open to everyone, and I should have been allowed to speak. Thank you.
This is towards Ward 10 members, or people that run that. I moved here to Sudbury in '87 as a student, and I have to say I was very impressed at that time with the hustle and bustle of downtown. Now, unfortunately, since then, I've seen much of the downtown being gutted. A lot of the historical buildings, like the old Capitol Theater, being torn down. A lot of the other buildings, like 100 Georges, which was a completely viable building that just gone through a major upgrade, being torn down. The only new construction that we've really seen in the downtown has been the new drugstore. I think everybody agrees that we need less drugs in downtown. But I'm strong, I believe often the best way to circumvent failures is to emulate success. I think today the downtown is a mere shadow of what it used to be back in '87 when I came here and before. I'm just wondering what success stories are the people that are running for Ward 10 emulating or trying to mimic in order to bring the downtown back to some of its former glory and trying to rectify some of the situations that have got us to this point.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I firmly believe in what you're saying, and that's why running for council and running for Ward 10, I look at our downtown, and yes, you know, they've taken a lot of historical places and they've torn them down. The 100 Georges building was a perfect building. There was nothing wrong with it. So why would you destroy it to put parking? It doesn't make any sense. What we need to do is we need to look at what other cities are doing. Look at Ottawa, for example, the market. It's very vibrant, very active. We need to have where we could take some of their ideas and adopt it in our city. They have the same climate that we do here. Why aren't we looking at with their success stories and adopting them here? In addition, why we should have more festivals downtown and maybe close off Elm Street. Have it where you keep it for Saturdays and Sundays where people feel comfortable to walk downtown, go to markets, have boutiques. There's a lot of things that can happen in downtown. We just need the right people in council to put those ideas in place.
There's no doubt that downtown has changed over the years. I think that we all want to see revitalization. But I also think that when we look at the old Burke's building, you know, we've got Simon's Restaurant in there. Jan has got a beautiful store on Durham Street. You know, there's the Old Rock Cafe, actually 2 locations. There's lots going on downtown. Robert Brown's had a complete upgrade within the last couple of years and have done a beautiful job on their store. So I don't think things are as negative as they might be being made out to be. And as for those buildings that were lost, I think we all feel badly about that. But unfortunately, in a system where people own private property, a community, a council cannot always stop people from tearing down a building they own. You would like to, but private property generally is at the disposition of the owner.
Thank you. Yes.
I'd like to hear from Ward 12 as well, since they are also part of downtown. I'd like to hear what they have to say about the same topic that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have very strict bylaws when it comes to downtown. I've been operating a restaurant in downtown for the last 3 years. Before that, I ran a bar in downtown for 10 years. I also live downtown. If you're a developer and you want to put apartments in, you need parking. The reality of people living downtown is many people work, play, do everything they want downtown and don't need a vehicle. The building I'm in has 16 people. We all pay significant amounts in rent, but we don't feel that we need vehicles. There's 3 vehicles in that entire building and a waiting list to get in. We have other space downtown that's not being used. We have empty space, but the developers cannot turn that into residential because of parking restrictions. We have buildings that want to go up around the downtown, which also have parking restrictions and making it more difficult, and it's turning those buildings into parking lots.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Ward 12 extends from Elm Street down. We've been talking about the Elm Street traffic calming, which would be the angular parking on Elm Street, and to prevent the 18-wheelers from going down through the heart of the city, which is one of the things we'll be going after. The master plan has started, and as a BIA member, I've been engaged as well, not only the Heritage Committee, but the Heritage designation for the city, making it different than the big box stores, making it exclusive. I think that the merchants in downtown have to look at the hours that they keep, and we have to be attractive to the people that we want to attract. I think we have to look at that as a member of the BIA, certainly willing to look at that. Safety issues, I've had a video camera installed at the Green Stairs, which are people that do go downtown, and that is making it safer. I also am a member of the Eye in the Sky, and we're looking at making the city safer, having more accessibility for everyone in the downtown. I sit on the accessibility panel. In terms of viability of the...
Let's see this then.
Along the same line about downtown, I live in Hamburg, and I came to take a course between 3 and 11 o'clock at night, and it was a 4-month course, and I came out to find out somebody was on the street, had been mobbed. Then the next week it was somebody had been knifed, and then the next week we had somebody on course who had taken her car from Elm Street down to where we were, just at the base of Cedar Street, and she had some guys underneath an 18-wheeler who came after her with a knife. I said, did you report it to the police? No, we don't. Why not? But we are in the inner city. We don't do things like that. One night we decided to go for a drink, and in the club I thought, oh my God, people still do this. And in a few moments we had a young lady, gorgeous woman, wearing heels, nothing else, doing oral sex on the floor with a customer, and this is the inner city of Sudbury.
Question, please.
I'm very proud.
Question.
Are you going to look at the insides of the buildings? That was right in the center of town.
That's fine.
In one of the clubs.
Thank you.
Are you going to look at the
Anyone else to
businesses?
say take that one on?
All I can say is if that sort of activity is going on, it would seem to me that you pick up your cell phone, if you have one, or get someone who has one, and call 911. Because, I mean, it's not very easy for the police who are outside to know what's going on inside a building unless someone tells them. But certainly if we know there's illegal activity going on at a certain location, I would certainly pursue it with the police. You're absolutely right.
Thank you. Justin?
I think that what Francis was saying is correct. People have to understand that if you do not call the police, if you are not persistent, they don't know. And also when you are reporting, and to explain exactly what it is, and to be persistent about that. And that is something that you can do, that you can be empowered to do, and people have to be persistent. We've done that in the ward. We've had Zone 30 because of the persistence of the residents that live there. And in Elm Street, we have the on-the-street patrols that Frank Elsner has instituted, and they want to know about this. So I would definitely instruct everyone to just to be persistent and to get the answers that you're after. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff, you want to say something?
I've lived downtown for over 10 years. I've worked downtown, I've worked late hours, so I've been out late nights like you're talking about. I can tell you when I first moved downtown, I did not feel comfortable myself walking through downtown. At this point, I feel safer on a regular basis walking downtown late at night than I do early in the evenings, because the downtown is flooded with people. The bars and the restaurants in the downtown core have flooded the downtown with people. We need to continue that. We need to get more residents into the downtown. Residents are eyes. The more eyes you have in the downtown, the more people you're going to call and report these kind of things before they happen. Bad things happen all over the city. The denser your population is, the more bad things are going to happen, just from the amount of people there. But also the more people that are there to report it and keep those numbers down.
Thank you.